The man 3 cabins down died this morning. You know this because you heard the knock. The medical team's knock is different from a steward's knock. 3 times, hard, then a pause, then 3 more. You've learned to recognize it over the past 11 days. You've heard it 6 times now. This morning it stopped at cabin 247. You pressed your ear against your door and listened to the sound of people working quickly on the other side of the wall. Then nothing. You are on a cruise ship in the Atlantic Ocean. There are 147 people on board. There is nowhere to go. The nearest port refused you. The one before that refused you too. You are sailing slowly toward a set of islands off the coast of Spain while something moves through this ship, and the people running this ship cannot tell you how it moves or who it will choose next. The virus has a name, Hantavirus, Andes strain. You looked it up on day 3 when the first announcement came over the intercom. That calm voice using words like precautionary measures and monitoring situation and out of an abundance of caution. You looked it up, and you read the mortality rate, and you put your phone face down on the bed and stared at the ceiling for a long time. 30 to 40%. That is the number. Not the number they said over the intercom. The number in the medical literature, 3 out of 10 people who develop severe symptoms do not survive. You are on a ship with 147 people and no hospital and a medical bay designed to treat seasickness and twisted ankles. You started keeping your door locked on day 5. It isn't rational. You know this. The virus doesn't travel through doors. It travels through the air, through droplets, through contact with an infected person's bodily fluids. You read everything. You know exactly how it spreads, and the knowledge makes it worse, not better, because knowledge without options is just a more detailed version of helplessness. The breakfast announcement comes at 7:30. You listen to it without moving from your bunk. Dining will be staggered. Tables limited to 2 people. Masks required in all common areas. The words have a rhythm now, a familiar shape. You've heard them every morning for 11 days, and they still don't feel real. You haven't eaten breakfast in the dining room since day 4. The ship's doctor is a woman named Dr. Vasquez. You've seen her twice. The first time was the group briefing on day 3, when she stood at the front of the main lounge and answered questions for 90 minutes while 40 people talked over each other. She was precise and measured, and she told you what she knew, and she was honest about what she didn't. You respected that. The second time you saw her was through your cabin porthole. She was on the deck below, moving fast, not running, but the kind of walking that is almost running. She was wearing full PPE, hood, goggles, the sealed suit. You watched her move through the hatch and disappear. That was yesterday morning. You haven't seen her since. Here is what a day looks like now. You wake up, and the first thing you do is check your own body. Not consciously, not methodically, just a sweep. Temperature, throat, lungs. You breathe in deep and hold it and wait to see if something catches, some tightness, some wrong texture in your chest. Everything fine. Everything fine. You do this check 4 times a day now. Morning, noon, dinner, bed. You started doing it without deciding to. You eat what you have. The ship leaves food packages outside cabin doors twice a day. Sealed containers slid under the gap or left on the mat. You wait 15 minutes after you hear the footsteps pass before you open the door. You don't know why you wait 15 minutes. The waiting feels like something. Your phone has been your entire world and your worst enemy simultaneously. The news outside the ship is something you cannot fully process. You see your name in articles, not your name specifically, but your category. Passengers, the Hantavirus ship. There are people outside who know you are on this vessel and are watching it from a distance the way people watched things happen in early 2020 before they understood that the thing was going to reach them too. Your family calls twice a day. Your mother calls more than that. The conversations are short because there is nothing to say that doesn't make it worse. You are fine. You are careful. You are staying in your cabin. Yes, you have enough food. Yes, you know. Yes. On day 7, a man knocked on your door. His name is Philip. He is 63, retired, traveling alone. He heard you were a nurse. Word spreads on a ship, even a ship in lockdown. And he wanted to know if you could look at something on his arm. A rash. You stood in the doorway with a mask on, and you looked at his arm, and you asked him questions, and you told him it was contact dermatitis, probably from a new soap, not a symptom. He thanked you 4 times. He shook your hand before you could stop him, and then you both looked at the handshake, and he apologized, and you said it was fine. You washed your hands for 3 minutes after he left. You thought about Philip for 2 hours. The thing nobody tells you about being trapped in a situation like this is the specific texture of the waiting. It isn't fear exactly. Fear requires something to happen. This is the space before fear, the sustained possibility of fear. You lie on your bunk and you look at the porthole, and outside the ocean is the same ocean it has always been, indifferent and enormous, and somewhere out there past the horizon are places where people are living ordinary days and complaining about ordinary things, and you are here. Day 9 was the hardest. The announcement came at 2 p.m. A third passenger had died. The voice on the intercom said passed away, and you had already learned that passed away meant the medical knock, the sound of people working fast, then nothing. You sat on the edge of your bunk and you counted. 147 people on this ship, 3 dead, 8 confirmed cases. You did the math the way you do math when you already know the answer, but you need the numbers to tell you directly. You stopped doing the math. The ship's counselor has been running twice daily sessions over the intercom. Her voice is warm and specific. She asks people to look out their portholes and name 3 things they can see. She talks about breathing. She talks about the difference between what is happening and what might happen, and why the brain cannot always tell the difference between them. You listen every time. You find it helps for approximately 40 minutes, and then the porthole shows you the same ocean, and the math starts again. On day 10, you started writing things down. Not a journal, exactly. More like a list. Things you want to do when you get off this ship. Not grand things, small things. The coffee from the place 2 blocks from your apartment. The specific weight of your own duvet. A shower with unlimited hot water that doesn't run on a ship's tank. Sitting in a chair that isn't this chair. These things felt embarrassing to write down, and then felt like the most important document you'd ever made. Philip knocked again on day 10. He looked better. His rash was fading. He brought you a chocolate bar from his cabin stores and left it outside your door. You found it after he left with a note that said simply, "Still fine." You ate the chocolate bar and felt something you can only describe as the specific relief of one small piece of evidence that someone is okay. Today is day 11. The announcement this morning said the Canary Islands have approved the ship's arrival. 3 days. That's the number. 3 more days and the ship enters port and begins evacuation. The announcement used the word evacuation, and it was the first honest word they'd used in 11 days, and something about its honesty made you sit down. You are going home in 3 days. This should feel like a clean thing. It doesn't feel like a clean thing. The man 3 cabins down died this morning. 6 people on this ship are still sick. You have spent 11 days listening for the knock and checking your body 4 times a day and doing math you told yourself you'd stop doing. 3 days is 72 hours. In 72 hours, you will walk off a gangway and stand on solid ground and breathe air that has weather in it. You take out your list, you read it again, the coffee, the duvet, the shower, the chair. You look out the porthole. The ocean is the same ocean. You add one more thing to the bottom of the list. Don't do a cruise again. You fold the paper. You put it in your jacket pocket. You lie back on the bunk. You do the body check. Throat, lungs, temperature. The deep breath held and waiting. Everything fine, everything fine. The knock doesn't come.